everybody, I am NicoD. So people who follow this channel know that I love power banks, so I use them a lot to power my SBCs in the summer when I go camping. So I've bought a few new power banks. I've bought this big giant power bank. It is rated as 30,000 milliamp hour. I also bought this one. This one is rated for 20,000 milliamp hour. Also bought this one. This is a smaller one. This is only 10,000 milliamp hour rated for it. I also had, of course, my RavPower power banks. These were my loyal, trusted power banks that I used the most. So this one is rated at 26,800 milliamp hours. And then I also tested this one. So I tested all 5 these power banks to see how much the capacity is of all 5 power banks. So power banks are very handy to power your devices, but they also have got a few problems. So the biggest problem with powering power banks or charging power banks is USB cables. If you use a normal USB cable, certainly the micro USB cables are often very bad. So I also bought a lot of new cables. So these cables are made for charging, so they can handle a lot more amps than the old cables. Often with the old cables, a power bank wasn't charging or was only charging at a half amp or so, while with a good cable they can charge at their maximum. A lot has changed in the last years in power bank technology. So for example, this one has got USB Type-C. That is great. I always had troubles with micro USB for charging. My second RavPower power bank, my oldest one, the micro USB port has broken off. So this one has got micro USB over here, but it also has got a USB Type-C port over here. So that's a very good thing. So I can charge it reliable with my solar panels. And this one has got everything you can ask for. It has got a display over here. It is now fully charged at 100%. It has got USB Type-C. It has got micro USB. It has got quick charge. It can be charged at 12 volts, 1.4 amps. So that is great. That's a lot more than when you can charge it at 2 amps, for example, at 5 volts. 5 volts at 2 amps is only 10 watts. While at 12 volts, 1.4 amps is 16 watts, so that is a bit better. So this one can be charged in 6 hours, while it is the biggest capacity of all the power banks I've got. While for example, this one needs 12 hours to be fully charged, while it has got less capacity than this one. So that is really awesome. It is awesome to have USB Type-C again on this one. It is awesome. It has got quick charge or PD also for output. So I can use my SBCs who have got quick charge, like the Kadas Vim 3 or like the RockPi 4. Both have got quick charge, so I can power them with this power bank and be sure of a stable voltage. So I'm going to show you all the results I've got for all the 5 power banks. I'm going to show you where I've bought them. I've bought all 3 at AliExpress, and my RavPower power banks I bought at Amazon. So I can't wait to go back on vacation to be able to use these new power banks. So now let's go check the results. So here we go! So to discharge my power banks I will be using this. So this is a resistor, or 2 resistors of course. So one is to discharge at 2 amps, the other one is to discharge at 1 amp. If they both are on, it is 3 amps. So all I need to do, also I've got this fan over here. This gets very hot, so I will be putting this fan over it. This fan also uses a bit more than a half amp, so it's all together that I'm using it. So right now none are on, only the fan is on, so a bit more than a half amp. So if I turn this one on, it is 1.9 amps. I will turn it back off and turn this one on, and it is 3 amps. So this one is the bigger one. Can I turn them both on? So with this power bank, when I turn them both on, it shuts itself out. So And it's back on. So this one I can discharge at 3.3 amps. That is quite fast, but it will take a very long time. So here I am discharging my new biggest power bank. So it is at 73% right now, and it is already 8500 milliamp hour. For all power banks it is at least the second time that I've charged them and discharged them. So this one wasn't fully calibrated, so it still lasted a very long time the first time I discharged it, and it stayed at 0% for a very long time. Now this has been calibrated and this works very well now. Here at 29% left, we have reached 20,000 milliamp hour, so that is great. It is finished. So it is 27,600 milliamps. I'll have to check with another power bank, so now I'm gonna do this one. So the final count for the biggest one is 27,271 milliamps. Okay, so let's write this down. So now I'm doing this one, so it's 100% full. So it's at 1.9 amps at 5.2 volts, so that's very good. 5.2 volts for almost 2 amps. That's good. It won't last very long. It's already at 99 instead of 100, so it won't last very long. This one was almost 30,000 milliamp hours, so that's very good. It will last me a long time in the summer. This one is emptied out, so let's see what the verdict is. So we came up to 6,562. So this is really not so good. It is as wide, but it is a lot thinner and a lot less. Oh, shut up. Come on. God damn, you windows. So while this one is emptying out, it's at 1,250 right now, and it's already lost 1. So it's a little less than 2 amps. This port can only do 2 amps, the other one can only do 1 amp. So it's at 1.8 amps right now at 4.9 volts. So while this is busy, I am charging again my biggest one. So it is very easy that there's a display on here. So it's charging at 11.5 volts. It is charging with micro USB, so even the micro USB has got a quick charge. And it's a rather good cable. So it is charging at 1.4 amps, so at 11.6 volts. So that's probably around 15 watts, I guess, maybe a bit more, so that's good. And this one is also charging not with quick charge. This one doesn't have quick charge, but it does have got a USB Type-C port. So it is charging with USB Type-C. It is only at 4.75 volts, but at 2.3 amps, so it is charging quite rapidly, but the voltage isn't very stable. I tried different cables and it's always going down. With bad cables it can only charge at 0.4 amps and at 4.5 volts maybe. So this is rather a good cable, one of the best I've got. So the cables are very important. If you use cheap ones like these, then it just won't go. I've tried this one. It's a USB Type-C cable, so it doesn't mean that it is USB Type-C that it is better. So this one was really shitty, and this one is a lot better. Even it's a good sized cable and it's got all the ports you need. So that is very good. So this one is that. Now let's see how far it got. empty out this one. So it was only 3,925 milliamps hour. So this is half of this, but it's an old one and I only use it to charge my camera and also to charge my MP3 player. So for that it's good enough. Now charging this one, 4.6 volts only, that's not very good, at 1.7 amps. Okay, so this one is fully charged, the EasyAcc. So plug it in. So you're at 3 amps. So it can handle it, 3.3 amps. Can it handle more? Can it handle 4 amps? Okay, it's shutting down at 4 amps. So it can handle 3 amps, so that is really great. 3.2. Okay. So that's at 0. And that's 3 amps. I'm gonna deplete it. That's gonna take a long time. I've got good hopes for this one, and this one is already almost charged, less than 6 hours, so that's very quick for such a big power bank. It is at 11 volts and 1.6 amps, so it is charging very fast, this one. So this one is finished, it's out. So now let's check with this one how far it has gone. So 17,488, so that's not too great. 17,488, so it is marked as 20,000, so it's close to 20,000, but I thought it would be a bit better. So now the last one to do, I'll first mark down how much this one got, so 17,000, I already forgot. So this one has finished, and the end result is 20,000. So it's less than I expected. So these two are very much alike. This one is 17,000, this one 20,000, this one 27,000. So very happy with this. So these are the results. So here you can see how much I paid for these power banks. So for the biggest one I paid €31.38. That's a bit more than $38. For the one of 20,000 milliamp hours I paid €17.87. And for the smallest one I paid €12.09. The smallest one wasn't worth the price. It doesn't have got USB Type-C and it doesn't reach 10,000 milliamp hour. It was even sold as being 30,000 milliamp hour, but I knew this wasn't correct. I could even ask my money back because of this. Here are all the results. So my biggest one, rated at 30,000 milliamp hour, came closest to it at 5 volts. So 27,272 milliamp hour. That is 136 watt hour. So that means there is enough energy in this power bank to power a device of 136 watts for 1 hour. So the batteries that are inside power banks are at 3.5 volts. So a lot of times the milliamp hour are at 3.5 volts instead of 5 volts, what is the output of the power bank. So a lot of brands just rate the 3.5 milliamp hour rating instead of a 5 volts milliamp hour. But here the Baseus goes a lot over the 30,000 milliamp hour at 3.5 volts. So the RavPower, I have used this for a few years, so it is normal that it isn't the full capacity of in the beginning, but it's still a little bit a disappointment. So only 20,000 milliamp hours measured at 5 volts, so that is 100 watt hour, that is okay. And when you convert it to 3.5 volts, then it gets its 26,800 milliamp rating. It even gets 28,600 milliamp hour. So the EasyAcc, I'm very happy with this one. It also has got USB Type-C, so for that I'm very happy with it. It gets 17,488 and it was only rated to 20,000, so it comes very close to the RavPower. It is 87 watt hour, and when you convert it to 3.5 volts, then it gets 24,900 milliamp hour. So this gets its rating. With the new white one, the small one of 10,000 milliamp hour rating, it only got 6,569 milliamp hours, which is 32 watt hour, and 9,384 milliamp hour at 3.5 volts. So that gets close to its 10,000 milliamp hour rating. And my oldest one, rated at 6,000 milliamp hours, got 3,900 milliamp hours. It also was rated at 22 watt hour and it gets 19.6 watt hour. It is one of 5 years old, so it is normal that it doesn't get its full potential. But the rating at 3.5 volts is 5,600, so it gets very close to its 6,000 milliamp hour rating. Companies are not wrong if they use a 3.5 volts rating for the milliamp hour, but they should know this. There is a lot of confusion because of this, so we never know what the full rating is. Only when the watt hour is noted down, then you are fully sure of what the capacity of a power bank is. So that's it for today. I hope you liked my video. Thank you all for watching. Please subscribe to my channel. See you all later. Bye.